Hello everyone. I am going to go through a page of your packet for week 3 here. This one is the I Notice, I Wonder, I Predict. It's page 12, the last page of the packet. So I'm going to go through that with you guys. I thought maybe there might be some of you who aren't able to see a lot of nature. I know I had to walk a little bit to be able to get here. So I just walked a little bit away from my house, so I thought I would do some nature video here for you in case you wanted to complete this part but didn't really have a lot of nature right around you. So I'm gonna just do a video here and then we'll talk about what we notice and what we wonder. So we're looking specifically for what we see, feel, hear, can touch and can smell, and then also any questions that we have. So I'm just going to show for a couple seconds here some of the nature that's around me, and then we'll go through this sheet here together. Okay, so I'm gonna just go through, and you can do this at home too, if you look out the window or go for a walk and have some nature. But just some specific things. We wanna be really specific about what we notice. So in this box here, I would write down things that I can see, and you can draw as well if you don't wanna write, but things that I can see a lot of leaves and sticks. And I know it's very windy out here, and I can smell like fresh grass. And I can definitely see water, and I can see the water kind of moving. So those would all be things that I could write down here. I'm not gonna write them all down right now, but those are definitely things, if you were watching the video before, that you would notice. Questions that I have. Try to think for a little bit about your questions and some things maybe even that you could Google and could find the answer to. But some really specific questions, like I'm wondering about these leaves right here in the water. They look like they're dead, but the tree doesn't really have any leaves. So I'm wondering if these leaves are from last year and that they got frozen in the water, or where the leaves came from. So that could be one of my questions over here for I wonder. I'm also looking up at the sky, and it looks really blue. So I'm wondering if it's going to rain or if it's gonna just stay sunny, because it's supposed to rain today, but I don't see anything that looks like clouds at all. I'm also really curious if there's any fish that live in this pond. I'm not sure, so that would be another question I could write down. There's so many questions. I'm sure you guys can come up with more than what I'm coming up with right now. But there's tons and tons of questions. Try to think about some questions that maybe you have to guess on the answer, and some that you could look up on Google. Like I could also ask the question about the grass. I didn't really pay attention to when the grass started growing green, so it would be really interesting to me to know in Iowa exactly when the grass starts to turn from the dead snow winter, when it usually turns, because it looks really, really nice today. But it definitely didn't in February. So that could be another question. And then the last portion on here asks you to predict. So these are like, if we think about reading, these are like inferences. So we're thinking about what are some things that we could predict or that we could make a guess on. So I would say, I would predict that this tree is going to look a lot different in a month because it looks like it's just starting to grow. I would also predict that it's gonna get warmer today because there's no clouds and the sun's out. So I would predict that it's gonna get warmer. I would also predict that there would be some geese or some ducks that would live here since it looks like a really nice pond. I don't see any right now. That's why I chose this pond, because I didn't want the geese to come after me. But I don't see any here right now, so I would predict that some will come later. I could also make a prediction that there might be a lot more plants that start to grow around here because I can see the grass is coming up, but I feel like I would predict that there's going to be a lot more plants that grow, maybe the tree and all little plants around it, because it just looks like it's just starting to grow right now. So I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see some nature if you haven't already. And I just really encourage you to be as specific as you can with the I notice and I wonder and I predict. Try to like sit for a while and actually just really think through how many questions you can come up with and how many predictions you can make. That your predictions don't have to be correct, but just spend some time thinking through that, because that helps you with reading too, when you're reading to make inferences and predictions. All right, hope you guys get a chance to at least open the windows and enjoy the beautiful weather that we have today.